Soll ich die beiden dann nochmal einpingen? Hm. Naja, wenn sie weitersehen wollen, sehen sie es hoffentlich. So, wir waren beim Baden. I excused myself and headed straight to the baths. I tentatively stepped into the shower and immediately was enveloped by the most heavenly sensation of warm water running over my stiff neck and shoulders. I kneaded my neck with my knuckles, each pass making me feel a little less tight.
If only I could touch you, I could give you a hand.
I screeched up and spun around, almost toppling over, to find Dai standing there in the shower with me. Dai, you scared the living daylights out of me.
I find I have that effect on people.
Dai laughed menacingly as she held her hand out to the cascading water. It just flowed right through her. Have you come to take a shower?
You know I'm an AI, right?
I do.
So, how or why would I shower?
Well, I understand that you don't need to, but it is quite relaxing. And I imagine that killing people is quite stressful. Dai placed her hand over her chest, appearing legitimately touched.
I can't explain how much that means to me. Everyone else wants me dead. But you care for me.
Dai burst into overly dramatic tears before stopping suddenly and glaring at me with extreme suspicion.
Wait, why do you care? What's in it for you?
I don't see any benefit to antagonizing you.
So, you're nice to me because antagonizing me provides you with no reward?
I guess that's one way to put it.
I'm still a little hurt, but I'm also impressed by your emotional restraint and your prioritizing of logical reasoning. Nothing turns a program on more. Meow.
Thank you.
Anywho, enough chit-chat. You're to report to the dining hall for the new game explanation.
Is it that time already?
Yup.
Can I at least finish it up here?
You know what? Sure. I'm very charitable this morning. I'll give you a whole 10 minutes to finish up and be in the dining hall.
Thanks, Dai. I appreciate it.
Anytime, girlfriend.
Aww. I faded away as I hastily finished my shower. She gave me 10 minutes, but I thought it might be best to get there as soon as possible, just in case. Ich muss den Tag noch aktualisieren. So.
You are late.
You are late. What? I thought I had 10 minutes.
You did. They didn't.
What? She's getting favoritism? That's not fair.
Green doesn't suit you, Trixie.
Who cares? Let's just get on with it.
The entire room turned to Shizuka. Just an outburst was extremely unlike her.
Did I say that out loud?
Who knew that the kitten had claws? I love it.
Shizuka shrunk visibly, trying her hardest to disappear through the back of the seat. Sorry for being late. It wasn't my intention.
Very well. Take a seat. Dai, please begin.
You're not the boss of me. I'll start when I want to start.
Dai pouted and stood with her arms folded like a child. The room sat in silence, restlessly waiting for the stalemate to break.
Okay, we can start, but only because I want to. Welcome to this week's deletion game, Vampire Children.
So,
Vampire. One person will be chosen at random by me. And no one will know for sure during each cycle. However, you can't every time. Only the original vampire after each cycle. After 3, if more human now the vampire can choose. But if the be careful, I will notify you of. Any question? This is my favorite game to date. Any questions? Need me to repeat?
excellent. Das ist eigentlich auch ein guter Soundclip. Dai suddenly stepped out of the room, and the broadcast opened overhead, where we could all hear Dai using her best customer service voice.
We understand that you have a choice in Deletion Game Carrier, and want to thank you all so much for choosing the Die Deletion Game service. We murder for your satisfaction, and we look forward to servicing you again this Sunday.
Everyone stood up slowly and wandered off the dining hall, headed back to my quarters alone, and spent the rest of the day planning how to best face this new game. The next day. I stared sleeplessly at the ceiling of my quarters for most of the night. Sleep expertly eluded me, and I was becoming more and more frustrated. Perhaps it was time for another approach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
May I interrupt your counting of...
Sheep. I'm counting sheep.
I have scanned the interior of the ship, and I cannot locate the sheep you speak of. Would you like me to put the ship on lockdown until they have been found?
No. It's alright. It's nice to see you. Seriously, how are you? It's so nice to see you. Gott, ich glaube, wir werden hier verrückt.
Are you okay? Your voice patterns and frequency do not match the normal ones that I have on record.
I'm having trouble sleeping, so I appreciate any company.
This is fitting then. The captain has requested your attendance on the bridge.
Mine? Why?
She has some concerns that she hopes you can alleviate. Shall I tell her to expect you?
Yes, of course. I'm on my way. If I could react, I was already out the door and on the bridge in record time. Good morning, Captain. How can I help you this morning? The captain turned slowly on her chair, then stood to face me. Her face very quickly shifted from concern to bemused. Captain, what's wrong?
We will get to that in just a moment. More importantly, where are your clothes?
I looked down and realized that I was just in a hurry. That I was such in a hurry to leave my quarters that I was still in the singlet and shorts that I slept in. Your concerns were my top priority.
That is very thoughtful of you. Perhaps I was too hasty to assume that you didn't have the ability to dress yourself.
Wow. Well then, you must feel a bit silly.
I most certainly do, and I hope you will forgive my erroneous judgment.
Of course, it can be our little secret. I decided to come clean with the captain after hearing how heartfelt her apology was. I'm sorry for deceiving you, Captain, but I actually just forgot. Haven't been sleeping well, and it's left me a bit airheaded.
I understand. Everyone is handling the situation in different ways. These are hard times.
Thank you, Captain.
Have you considered milk?
Sorry. What?
Have you considered drinking warm milk before going to bed?
Also wenn du mir meine anbietest? Does that help?
It has helped me greatly in my times of need. And it also has the extra benefit of sating hunger as well.
Wow, really? Alright, give it a shot.
I hope it works well for you.
So, why am I here, Captain?
Just over a week ago, I made the choice to stay on course towards the black hole.
Yes, I remember, and your argument made sense. So what's the problem?
We will be at the closest point to the black hole tomorrow just after 4 a.m., and people are already dying on my watch. I don't want to sentence the entire crew to death at once.
Captain, I'm sure that Shizuka will be able to navigate us through. Though, we should easily be able to avoid the event horizon, so the only thing we will need to deal with is time dilation. But even then, the effect shouldn't be observable by us.
Time dilation?
To put simple, time passes slower for those closer to a black hole than those further away from it. So a day to us might be in fact a year for others further away, but theoretically we shouldn't even notice. The captain started looking even more concerned. Nothing I was saying was helping her. Maybe I was making it worse. Father always said that people are like parrots. They love their own reflections and their own voices. Maybe this is what he meant. Here goes. Ahem, Captain. Would you rather have a 100% chance of death or a 50% chance? Even with you navigating, at least we have a chance of survival. Hey, Shizuka is auch noch da. The captain's worried demeanor quickly melted away, and she turned her glance to me, smirking.
Wise words. I wonder where you got them from. But you are right, and so was I. Not chancing the black hole is a death sentence in itself.
See, all better. No point worrying about what we can't control. We either die from a black hole or a psychotic AI system. Both noble deaths. The captain took a moment, looking stern, before breaking into a laugh.
Noble indeed. Thank you for the laugh and for your counsel.
Well, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to pour myself a glass of milk and attempt to sleep again. I left the bridge and made a beeline for the kitchen. I arrived to find someone poking around at the fridge. Ah, Nicholas! Katashi?
Sorry to disappoint you.
Oh, Nicholas. After Yoshike's death, I accepted that I'm a continual disappointment. Verstehe ich. I'm not disappointed, in fact it's an improvement. Gehen wir mal für die Mi ARL Version.
Huh. You need to stop beating yourself up.
Just so tired. It's too easy to be swept on emotions.
That is completely reasonable. Lack of sleep is dangerous for your health.
How so?
Sleep deprivation is comparable to having a blood alcohol level of 0.05. Your reaction time is decreased, and your decision-making abilities become impaired.
Keine Sorge, die sind immer so.
Are you here to get a drink of milk?
How did you know?
Educated guess. Milk contains not only melatonin, but tryptophan, which causes the brain to produce serotonin, helping induce sleep.
Yeah, the captain suggested it as well.
Well, it was a good suggestion. I have an idea. Why don't you go have a quick shower, and I will bring you a glass of warm milk once you are finished.
Aw. Shower?
Warm showers can help with regulating your body temperature, and the resultant drop in temperature afterwards can also assist in sleeping.
Milk won't be enough?
It may be, but the shotgun strategy seems to be the best one here.
That sounds dangerous.
Well, it is not exactly a medical term. It means taking multiple approaches in the hope that one will work. The more things we fire at you, the more likely it is that one will hit. Hence, shotgun strategy.
Alright, I'm convinced. We'll take a shower and meet you back there.
And never mind that, I will come to your quarters. Do your best to relax, and be prepared for some amazing sleep.
Thanks, Nicholas. Okay, I'm off. I left the kitchen, excited by my bright prospect of sleep. I took my time in the warm shower, then headed back to my quarters to await my room service. Just as I was changing into my night clothes, Nicholas appeared.
Knock, knock.
Just a second. After I was done, Nicholas entered with a brimming glass of milk in hand, balancing it like an experienced waiter.
Here we go. I hope your shower was enjoyable.
Only one way to find out if it worked. I brought the milk to my lips, then paused when it came to me that I had never asked why Nicholas was even up at this hour. Nicholas, why are you still awake?
I was notified that the captain's vital signs were elevated, signs of distress.
Did I tell you?
Yes, she did. I got up to check on the captain, but I noticed you were already with her. Because I was now up, I did what any normal man would, and I stopped for a snack on the way to bed.
What did you I was rudely interrupted by my own huge yawn. Nicholas smiled, seeing that his sleep remedy was taking effect.
I found a slice of cheesecake. It was delicious. I have saved you some for later.
I murmured a reply, but exhaustion made it more incoherent. Good night.
Rest well. Knock, knock.
Huh? Opened my eyes to witness Nicholas at my bedside with a plate in his hand. Nicholas?
Good morning, sleepyhead.
Oh yeah. Morning.
I brought you that piece of cheesecake I mentioned.
Nice. My brain suddenly went into overdrive at the mention of cheesecake. How long was I out for?
Only about 4.5 hours. I woke you up now as you just recently came out of REM sleep.
REM? Ah, diese Band, oder?
A part of your sleep cycle. It is usually marked by an increase in breathing and heart rate and is the best time to rouse someone.
Also ich glaube, wenn ich morgens immer aufstehe, komme ich nicht aus dem REM-Sleep. Thank you.
You are most welcome. Now, have some cake.
Nicholas handed me the leaden plate. Did you drug me? Wow. Well, looks like the shotgun strategy worked. Nicholas smiled at me like a content parent.
I am pleased. Your health and well-being is one of my top priorities, and I cannot have you experiencing poor sleep while I can do something to prevent it.
Which one do you think did it? The shower or the milk? Nicholas didn't hesitate before responding. Ich glaube, es war Nicholas.
The milk.
Really? What makes you sure it... Oh, er hat wirklich was reingetan. Really? What makes you so sure it was the milk? Nicholas grinned knowingly.
Educated guess.
Consider me a believer. Devoured the cheesecake greedily. Sleep had clearly caused my appetite to return with a vengeance.
Well,
Oops.
I would... Yoshiki's death was not your fault.
Ah, warte. Ich kann das eigentlich einfacher machen. So.
The milk. I am...
Did you drug me?
Yes.
Wow. You didn't even try to deny it. The cheek.
It was only to help you sleep.
It was supposed to be what the milk and the shower were for.
I explained the shotgun strategy. The medicine was simply another shotgun pellet.
Wow. You can't just go around drugging people.
I can, and I just did. Are you upset?
More confused, really.
That is reasonable. I've betrayed your trust somewhat.
Oh. Why did you do it, though?
I analyzed the situation and came to the conclusion that it would be in your best interest to sleep no matter the method.
But why didn't you tell me?
I was ensuring that the situation remain as calm as possible. Suggesting medical intervention usually increases feelings of anxiety in patients, especially when anxiety may already be contributing to your lack of sleep.
So you didn't tell me because you thought it would work better for me if I didn't know?
Correct. I will only ever act in your best interests. In this situation, I deemed it better for you that you did not know.
I understood. I think. I stared at a slice of cheesecake in front of me for a moment.
I'm sorry if you feel uneasy.
It's okay, I get it. In a weird, twisted kind of way. Nicholas' face relaxed.
Thank you for understanding. Now, please eat your piece of cake. It was the last one left.
I nodded, needing a little encouragement to eat. Still wasn't sure if it was a side effect of the drugs, but it tasted far better than even my wildest expectations. Nicholas looked satisfied as I polished off the cheesecake and took my plate from me before I could lick it clean.
I hope you have a productive day. Let me know if you need anything else.
I will. Thank you, Nicholas. Nicholas stacked my empty glass and plate and headed off. I felt more refreshed than I had in any recent day. I decided to head to the lab and attempt to make any headway with the pocket watch. I have a good feeling about it. At the lab, I spread my work across the many tables that had been pulled together. All right, Brain, we got this. I know we do. I held the pocket watch in my hand, still as lifeless as it ever had been. Pressed the buttons again, hoping for something, anything to happen. My newfound good mood slipped away from me quickly. People were literally dying on my watch. The solution was right here in my hands, yet I was somehow too stupid to put the pieces together. Perhaps I needed to take a different approach, a less scientific approach. I raised the watch to my mouth. Hi, watch, it's me. If you could just, work, I would really appreciate it and would be sure to give you the best treatment from now on. I stroked the watch, comforting it, and tried to press the buttons again. You have made yourself a powerful enemy this day, watch.
If I knew science involved nothing but gentle verbal persuasion, I would be a famous physicist already.
Nicholas, what are you doing here?
I came to see if you would join me for the evening.
Oh, why?
I guess I find your company somewhat enjoyable.
Everyone does. I rolled my eyes at Nicholas, who appeared to be enjoying himself.
But does everyone offer you the same opportunities I do?
And what exactly are these opportunities you speak of?
Unlimited healthcare for starters. I also offer round-the-clock house calls.
Nice. Der perfekte Partner für einen Amerikaner. When I'm sick?
I will be at your beck and call, regardless of health.
Could feel my cheeks blush conspicuously. There was no point even trying to hide it. Opportunities aside, what would this evening look like? Rare to happen?
I was hoping to lure you in with the prospect of dinner, followed by a private serenade if, and only if, you were on your best behavior.
Serenade was singen, oder? And if I'm not?
I think I might even prefer this option.
Gott, hier sind alle horny. I like it. Join Nicholas for dinner. He had me at beck and call.
I am glad.
So, when's dinner?
It is ready whenever you are.
Alright, give me 10 minutes to pack up here, and I will meet you in the dining hall.
Perfection.
Nicholas left swiftly to complete his preparations, while I turned my attention to packing up my parents' work. It took me only a fraction of a time to put it away, then I had to take it out. Finally, only the pocket watch was left sitting there. I give you one more chance. I slipped it into my pocket and enthusiastically walked to the dining hall. Upon arrival, I found the table practically creaking under the sheer weight of food. Huh?
I hope you enjoy pasta.
I do. It looks like you might as well. Nicholas, woher hast du das Essen? Wir haben hier ein Ressourcenproblem. Nicholas pulled out a chair for me before making his way to the opposite side of the table and taking a seat.
I certainly do. My mother taught me how to make it. This is all handmade.
Ach, das ist bestimmt Spätzle. So ein Schwabe. Oh, really?
Yes. She taught me that the best way to a man's heart is through his stomach was in fact wrong. It should have been a woman's heart.
Oh. Because we like to eat?
Good heavens, no. A man who can cook for a woman is much more desirable than a man who cannot. So she made sure to teach me how to cook.
Gute Mutter. Like your mother's thinking.
I thought you would. My mother was also a strong woman.
Nicholas smiled warmly as he lifted his glass to make a toast.
May we overcome life's problems one die at a time.
I laughed uncontrollable. He was doing his best to ruin the romantic tension. One day at a time. We clinked our glasses together and tucked into dinner. I twirled some pasta onto my fork in a traditional style. What else did your mother teach you how to cook? Ah, what else did your mother teach you how to cook?
This is the full extent of my portfolio.
She didn't teach you anything else?
She told me that not everyone is supposed to be able to do everything, and that I should leave the majority of the cooking to Katashi and the Ikari family.
His mother's advice was starting to make sense. His mouthful was certainly an experience. This mouthful was certainly an experience.
How is it? It is so good that you are lost for words, just like my mother always was.
Oh nein, er ist ein schlechter Koch. Oh nein. Ah. Nicholas beamed proudly as I forced my grimace into the semblance of a smile. I don't think I've ever had anything as terrible in my mouth as I did right then, and had lived on dehydrated meals for most of my life. Oh no. Oh no. I had to distract myself with some conversation quickly. Couldn't hold up this charade for long. So, do you like being a doctor?
That is a very interesting question. I believe I do.
Is there a different role that you would like?
A different role.
Anything, not restricted to the duties on the spaceship.
A role on Earth? Oh, the possibilities are endless.
I could see Nicholas was deep in thought. I tried to guessing what his reply would be in my head. A fireman, an accountant, a line keeper maybe.
No.
Wait, what? Nothing?
Correct. My parents were both doctors, and I am proud to follow in their footsteps.
That's incredibly sweet, Nicholas.
To fulfill a different role would mean that I would lose the countless hours that my parents poured into teaching me. I would not trade that for anything.
Any major downsides to being a doctor?
Not particularly.
That's rather a mundane answer.
Well, I have come to blows before.
Like a punch-up?
In a manner of speaking, yes.
I scotched my chair closer to the table, intrigued. Now I'm listening.
I do not think it is particularly interesting, but it is the only real negative experience I have had.
I'll be the judge of that.
What I tell you never finds its way back to Beatrix, okay?
I promise.
Very well. Years ago, Katashi had a minor concern. He had run out of strawberries or something equally trivial. Anyway, he wanted to inform the captain, but I asked him to leave it for a day as it was the anniversary of the death of the captain's father.
Couldn't yet predict where this was going.
Even after knowing this, Katashi was adamant that he would inform the captain, claiming that he was to report food stock depletion immediately upon occurrence. I stepped in front of him and demanded that he wait till the next day.
Oh.
He told me to move, or he would move me by force.
You didn't move, did you?
Absolutely not. His inconsequential report would have caused more strain to the captain's mental health than was necessary.
So what happened?
He punched me.
And then?
I returned the favor.
Did you win? Ah, you're winning, son.
We both wound up with black eyes and multiple abrasions. However, he did not report to the captain in the end, so I guess I won the moral victory.
That definitely sounds like a victory to me. Wait,
Yes.
why can't I tell Beatrix about this?
Oh, that. Well, when Beatrix noticed my black eye, I may have told her that we were fighting over her behavior and not the captain.
Why lie?
Beatrix has very little time for the captain, so I did not see any reason to divulge the truth. Besides, she was thrilled at the idea of me getting punched for her.
Ah, das ist das Gossip, das wir von Beatrix erfahren konnten, müsste es sein, oder? Nee, da hätte sie broken nose. Schade. Classic Beatrix. Continue to talk, sharing, so long that I almost forgot about the promised serenade before it was too late.
Yeah.
So,
Too full. That. It is. How is it? That is. I believe I do. That is. I believe I do.
kann ich das nicht auswählen?
That is a very. I believe I do.
Ah, doch, hier. What is the best part of being a doctor?
The best part is having the power to choose who lives and dies.
My mouth hung open like a stunned mullet for a moment. Nicholas' serious face transformed into a grin as he broke into laughter.
It is only a joke.
Sorry, he just delivered that so convincingly. Nicholas was very pleased with himself. He was still reeling a little from the fact that he was so compelling.
The best part of being a doctor is understanding.
Understanding? Like understanding how your patient feels?
Not quite. I really enjoy the knowledge of how the body works, something that medical training has afforded me.
Ah, I understand. Being a scientist also helps me to better understand our reality.
I am glad you understand my position.
Any major downsides to being a doctor?
Not particularly.
That's rather a mundane answer.
Well, I do not think it is particularly what I tell you. Very well. Years ago, Katashi had a
Okay, this is also
I
an
believe
so sharing the doctor role with Beatrix fun.
fun would be a stretch.
Nicholas laughed lightheartedly.
I love my sister, but sometimes I feel that I do a lot more work than she does.
Haha, I think that feeling might be justified.
That being said, when there is an emergency, she is much more reliable than I am.
Really?
Yes, apparently she thrives on the pressure.
Maybe she finds routine medicine too boring?
I think so too.
So if I'm bleeding out, call for Beatrix. Nicholas laughed in agreement, but I could see he was a tiny bit miffed. Any major downsides to being a doctor? Huh? I decided.
Yes, apparently. That being said, when there
Das,
not particularly.
ich komme hier noch nicht vorne. It's rather a mundane answer.
Well,
Punch
I-
up.
years ago, absolutely not. He punched me. Yes. Beatrice.
So long that I almost forgot about the promised serenade before it was too late.
Oh dear, look at the time. We had best turn in for the night.
I guess you're right. Haben wir unseren Teller leer gegessen?
Do not fret. The serenade is simply postponed for now.
I look forward to it.
I'd best practice beforehand. I would hate to disappoint.
You disappoint? I hardly doubt it. I stood up and moved towards the door.
Good night.
Good night, Nicholas. I smiled all the way back to my quarters. Nicholas was so much fun to spend time with, but he couldn't cook to save his life. Yikes. That had weh. Because I had avoided eating during dinner, I was now pretty hungry, and Nico was still in the kitchen cleaning up, so that was out of the question. Guess I was going to bed hungry tonight. Began preparing for bed, stomach rumbling in. Took the pocket watch out and placed it on the bedside table when I saw it. What's this? Oh. A note attached to a small package was sitting there. I read the note out loud. Aww. Kaname Date, thank you for putting up with Nicholas' cooking. Here's a muffin to tide you over until breakfast, Beatrix. You'd snuck me food. Beatrix, you were the best. Opened the well-wrapped package and devoured a small chocolate muffin sitting nestled inside. It was delicious beyond words. Wenn wir Schokolade haben, also wir haben Kakaopflanzen hier auf dem Schiff. Krass. Stomach's now satisfied. I slipped into bed and drifted off to sleep. Wie kann man Pasta ruinieren? Oder wir mögen einfach keine
I
Spätzle.
would like to welcome everyone to the ring this evening.
Wir trauen wieder. Huh?
In the left corner, sporting the German shorts, Nicholas Vogel. And in the right corner, in the fetching Japanese shorts, Katashi Ikari. In the left and in the right corner, in the fetching Japanese shorts, Katashi Ikari.
Ding ding. Nice. Hat wirklich deutschfarbige. Oh. I opened my eyes, and to my amazement, I could see Nicholas and Katashi fighting. All the crew members were cheering them on, even Yoshiki, Der Nicholas landed a left hook and forced Katashi to his knee. Ach, wir visualisieren den Traum. Ja, nice. Manager Beatrix Yoshiki. So gut. Oh. Ich mag das CG. Seeing Katashi and Yoshiki alive, even if... Ah, er ist tot. Seeing Katashi and Yoshiki alive, even if Katashi was getting his butt kicked, filled me with joy. I woke up, the joy draining away like an empty bath. I sat up, feeling only disappointment as a sad reality, when I realized my sheets were draped in a green glow. Ah, jumping time! Huh? My eyes followed the glow to the source on the bedside table, the pocket watch. My disappointment evaporated as my heartbeat thrummed deafening in my ears. I was speechless. Finally, a sign that my work was paying off. Oops. I leapt out of bed, snatching up the precious watch, trying not... Oh, scheiße. Hab ich jetzt wirklich Schluck auf? Trying not to drop it out of pure excitement. Einen Moment. So. Press C button. I didn't hesitate and pressed the buttons. As soon as finger made contact, everything went black. I rolled on the floor, clutching my stomach as I felt waves of incredible nausea. I opened my eyes, observing that I was lying on the floor of my quarters. Uh-oh. Sitting up against the side of my bed, I attempted to swallow down that nausea. I sat, breathing heavily for a few moments, when I was interrupted by two men running into my room, locking the door behind them. Both were panting, their backs to the door with similar panicked expressions.
Is she still following us?
Oh. Neue Leute. Nathaniel. And Subi.
Zubi, get a hold of yourself.
Gute voice actor.
Nathaniel, she killed Yoshiki. She killed her. Where next?
Oh, sogar mit Accent. She killed Yoshiki, she killed us, we're next.
Not if we get a grip. I need you to stay with me here.
Huh? What's going on? I wobbled to my feet as the two men spun to face me. The no-named Subi turned white as a ghost, while Nathaniel looked utterly bewildered. Kan han ha dött? Yes?
I don't want to alarm you, but we just watched you die.
How did I die? Never mind that though. I had done it. I had changed dimensions.
So the pocket watch worked?
Oh, ich mag seinen Akzent. Wait, you know about it?
Sure I do. I worked with you in the lab. Well, our version of you at least. I'm quite familiar with the theory.
So, you believe me? Das ist auch ungewohnt.
100%.
So what's going on right now?
The captain,
What's wrong with the captain? Is she okay?
she's never looked healthier. Everyone else, on the other hand,
What do you mean?
she's killing everyone.
What?
We don't know why, but she just started killing people this morning. We're hiding from her right now.
Himiko's killing people?
I saw her stab you to death in the lab with my own eyes.
Ouch. I wonder what it did to deserve that.
I don't think any of us did anything that would deserve that.
The PA came to life, the captain's voice filling the quarters.
I know you were on the ship.
Oh shit. Huh? How does she know I'm here?
Confused? You are still not even half the man mine was.
Man?
Come out of your quarters and allow me to kill you. I will spare the other two.
Hate to throw you under the bus, but that sounds like a pretty good deal from where I'm standing.
Okay, die Leute sind... Ach, warum seid ihr so Arschlöcher?
We can't just throw her to the wolves. Would you rather fight the wolf yourself?
Komm, 3 gegen 1. Das sollte doch machbar sein. The two men stood considering the options as I attempted to defend myself. Hey, come on now. If there are 3 of us, we should be able to take on the captain.
I am still waiting.
You're right. We outnumber her 3-1. All right, let's face her together.
Uh-oh. We unlocked the door and the 3 of us stepped out into the hallway. The captain couldn't be seen.
Nathaniel? Zuby? What is happening? Report at once!
Interessant, dass sie Subi zweimal auf andere verschieden geschrieben haben. We spun on our heels to face the captain. She seemed confused.
We won't let you kill her.
What?
Subi and Nathaniel both lunged at the captain, and after a short scuffle, the two men managed to subdue the captain. They stood on either side of her, holding her arms tightly behind her back. She was visibly fuming. Boah, am Ende stellt sich heraus, dass die beiden uns umbringen wollen, oder?
What is the meaning of this?
Wobei sie jetzt ja auch gerade per PA gesagt, also. You told me to come into the hallway so you could kill me.
What? I never asked for such a thing.
Oh shit. Sie haben uns wirklich verraten. If you didn't then... What? Uh-oh.
No!
I felt a deep, searing pain in my neck. Suddenly my mouth was filling with fluid. I couldn't swallow it down. Was I drowning? As warmth from the inside of my body spread to the outside. I felt someone's breath in my ear as they whispered.
Not even half the man he was.
Hold on. Hold on.
Saw the captain, Subi and Nathaniel all rushed towards me as my body crumbled to the floor. Huh? Was ist...
What? What is the... What?
We won't let you... We won't...
What? I never asked for such a thing.
Oh Gott, es gab einen Imposter. If you didn't, then when?
No! Not even half the man he was.
Hold on. Hold on.
Saw the captain, Subi and Nathaniel all rushed towards me as my body crumbled to the floor. Ah. Also irgendwie geht eine Killer-Kimiko, reißt auch durch die Dimension. Chapter 4. What was I thinking? I had no idea what could happen if I pressed it. I must be going crazy. Emotionally motivated decisions were very rarely the right decisions. I took a deep breath and tried to collect my thoughts. There must be a way for me to make a more informed decision. Well, I guess that information is important for being informed. So who was the most information? I shook my head, trying to clear it. It worked about as well as shaking a kaleidoscope to get a clearer view. Ah, I just need a second opinion. 2 heads are better than 1, after all. And any one head is better than this one right now, that's for sure. Still wasn't sure if the watch being on was a permanent state, so I'd better chose fast. I eventually decided to go and wake Nicholas. Surely he, of all people, would have the knowledge that could tilt the scales of deduction in the favor of logic and reasoning. I grabbed the pocket watch and headed out. Inside the Vogus room, I took a deep breath to calm my nerves before pressing the intercom button. This may not go smoothly. Excuse me? Good morning. Oh Gott, wir sind wieder um 4 Uhr und werden umgebracht. Sorry, but can I please speak to Nicholas? Please? I stood in the hallway for what felt like a century. Perhaps no one is coming. I almost felt relieved. As if in response, the door opened to real and very intimidating Beatrix, filling up the whole doorway. It was an understatement to say that she did not look happy.
Let me make this very clear, sailor.
We are dead. I gulped. The threat in her voice was palpable enough to coax the sweat out of me unprompted. Oops. Oops.
There are only 2 ways that you can get away with waking me this early and not fear for your life.
I suddenly said my prayers, so this was how it ended.
First, if you were already dead. And seeing as I'm watching the blood drain from your face right now, that seems unlikely. 2, if you wanted to share my bed. So, if you're here to show me a good time, have no fear and come on in. If not...
Beatrix left the sentence hanging there like a venomous cloud. I didn't dare to take a breath. Nicholas slipped deftly past his sister, looking unimpressed with her.
Beatrix, I believe she came here for me.
She woke me in the process. So I need to be compensated somehow.
Beatrix glared at her brother and then fixed her penetrating gaze on me, knowing I was the easiest target.
So, how are you going to pay for my troubles, sailor?
Beatrix, I will handle this. And if her reasons for waking us are not sufficient, I will deal with her myself.
At first I was relieved that Nicholas was saving me from his sister's wrath, but then I remembered what family I was dealing with here, and tempered my expectations somewhat.
Tisk.
Oh, I'm glad this is settled.
Nicholas watched her carefully as she unwillingly retreated back into the room.
Shall we take this elsewhere?
I nodded furiously, keen to get as far away from the room and its angry contents as possible.
The rec room should be free right now. I am quite fond of the armchairs.
The comfy armchair was just what I needed for my jelly legs right about now. Nicholas took a seat and then signaled with his hand that I should take a seat across from him.
Now, one thing I agree with Beatrix on is that I hope you have a very good reason for waking me.
I promise you, I do.
Is it medical in nature?
Not quite. Guess that it does concern the health of everybody on board the ship, ultimately though.
Oh?
I saw that I had piqued his interest. It's about my parents' watch, about the research into dimensional travel. I handed the watch over to Nicholas, who delicately turned it over, inspecting it with great interest.
So, am I right to assume that these green lights indicate that the device has been activated somehow?
I think so.
Very interesting.
Nicholas handed the watch back to me and folded his arms, all focused now on me.
So, why am I here?
I haven't pressed the button since it became active.
And why does this concern me, of all people?
If you were me, would you press the button?
Playing hypotheticals, are we?
Just tell me what you would do.
You want me to reaffirm the choice you have already made, do you not?
No,
Yes, you do. You are asking me in the hopes that I too will say I would not have pressed the button.
Fine, let's say you're right. Would you have?
In all honesty, I do not know. Hypotheticals, although interesting experiments, are never a good basis for practical application.
Care to explain?
Choices made in our minds are not choices at all. They have no bearing on the physical world until you act on them. That aside, none of this matters anyway.
Why not? For this was one of the most important decisions I would make in my life. Nicholas looked at me, smiling warmly.
You have already made your decision.
What can you possibly mean?
You already chose not to press the button. Whatever your reasoning may have been, it's already been done. You need to trust yourself more.
But how?
But nothing. If a time comes when you should push the button, that decision should be yours and yours alone.
And what if I'm wrong?
Right and wrong are subjective. I will support whatever decision you make, simply because it is your decision.
Nicholas' unconditional support almost brought tears of gratitude to my eye. To think that, a minute ago, I was ready to strangle him for being so impenetrable.
Now, I hope you will support my decision to return to my quarters for some much-needed sleep.
As I nodded my assent, Nicholas got up, inclined his head in response, and left. I should probably get some more sleep too. The next round of the Legion game will require every advantage I can get. Back in my room, I placed the pocket watch in the open bedside table drawer and retired to bed. Any worries that a new revelation with the pocket watch would prevent sleep were immediately proven unfounded.
Good morning, my most eager beavers. Today is, of course, the long-awaited round of the deletion game Vampire Children. If you could all please make your way to your individual quarters, I will be selecting my vampire.
What? Jerked into an upright position to check the time. It was just after 7 a.m. Moments later, Dai appeared in front of me.
That's a great idea.
Huh? What is?
Catching up on your beauty sleep, of course.
There's more to me than just my appearance, Dai.
That's what ugly people tell themselves to make them feel better. Good for you, ugly.
Wow. Having just woken up, I wasn't yet mentally fortified enough to handle this. If you came to insult me, mission accomplished. You can leave now.
Aww.
Dai looked at me with sorrowful puppy dog eyes.
Come on. I'm just playing around with you.
So you take back that bit about me being ugly?
Well, I'm not going to go that far.
I made the ugliest face that I could muster and held it until Dai exploded with laughter.
Okay, fine. You're not ugly. You just have a beauty that very few people understand.
Nah, you're just saying that.
In all seriousness, I only make fun of you because I like you so much.
Aw. Really?
Yup, and I'm here to prove it.
How?
By giving you the best role for the Vampire Children game, of course.
So I'm human?
No, I said that I like you.
Wait, so I'm the vampire?
Of course you are. My favorite little bloodsucker.
I struggle to see how this is a good thing. Dai seemed legitimately confused by my statement.
Being the vampire is the best role by far.
How so?
Well, not only do you get to kill people in the game,
Not a good start.
but you also get to murder someone in real life, too.
Why would anyone besides you want to do that?
Ugh. Would you rather be the one getting murdered? I can arrange that for you if you want.
I decided that silence was the best answer to that one.
That's what I thought. Get out there and make Mama Dai proud.
Mama Dai?
I made you, which makes me the elder vampire. Go forth and multiply, my child. Guess that means I'm going to be Grandma Dai very soon. I'm so excited, but at the same time, I still look too young and beautiful to be a grandmother.
I sighed, only half listening to Dai at this stage. I was too preoccupied thinking about how I could turn this to my advantage. Dai was busy entertaining herself by pretending to be old. She hunched over and hobbled towards the door.
So long, dearie. Make sure to wear Granny's home-knitted cardigan. It's getting chilly out.
Moments later, Dai's voice came over the ship's PA system.
Thank you all for your cooperation. You are now free to pass the time as you please. The game will commence in 2 hours. Good luck!
Great. Now what? Okay, brain. First things first. Should I partner with someone, and if so, who should it be? I'm a solo wolf. Ooh. Da wir hier wieder sterben werden, fangen wir mal mit Solo Bowler an. The only person I can trust is me. I can't risk telling anyone that I'm the vampire. It felt terribly lonely saying it out loud, but it was the safest approach. It didn't make me feel any better about it though. Before the game starts, I should have a shower. I need a grey way to clear one's mind. Suddenly I appeared in my room. Oh. Making my way down the hallway was tough, going with all the lights off. Hello? I? Die? Anyone? Uh-oh. As I continued walking, I saw that one room still had its lights on. It looked to be the dining hall. I made a cautious approach. Ah, the CG kennen wir auch.
I'm glad you finally arrived.
What the hell happened here? There sat at the head of the table, with the entire crew draped over its length. Blood pooled on the surface and dripped in a rhythmic plink-plonk, plink-plink, onto the floor. The still bodies of the captain, Nicholas, flanked Dai. Are they dead? I ran to Nicholas' side and checked for a pulse. My fingers slipping on the blood that coated. Ran to I ran to Nicholas' side and checked for a pulse, my fingers slipping on the slick blood that coated him. Nothing.
Why did you do this?
I crawled over to Beatrix, frankly trying to check her vitals, but her hands now shook uncontrollable. I didn't. I couldn't. Tears obliterated my vision as I approached the tiny form of Melody.
I don't like liars.
I'm not lying. Why would I do this? What did she have to gain from this? You have your sick deletion game already. Why kill everyone? I cocked her head in confusion.
Me? Kill everyone?
Who else could have done this?
Well, firstly, I can't stabby people. Remember? No physical presence.
Her hands passed through Nicholas, making a point in a grisly fashion.
Second, my programming prevents me from harming the captain in any way.
If this was true, she was right. She couldn't have been the one responsible, no matter how bad it looked when I walked in. So, if you didn't kill them, who did?
I have the exact same question. There's no one else alive on this ship. Interestingly enough, I was preparing for the upcoming game when I forced her way to the front, and during that time, this.
You think I did this?
Impossible and absurd. Even if we have the ability to touch people, she's too much of a goody two-shoes to kill people in cold blood, especially children.
And who do you think did this?
I don't think anything. I know who did this.
Tell me.
You.
I can guarantee you, it wasn't me.
If you're the only person on the ship left alive, it doesn't take a genius to work it out.
But...
The mission is over.
No,
Let me thank you for your time and relieve you of your post.
No! Dining hall now in lockdown.
I enjoyed our time together, honestly. Killing so many of you was fun, but we're both surplus to requirements now.
What are you doing, Dai?
Nothing.
What does that mean? Warning, AI system set to go offline in 1 minute. Warning. All required to maintain life support.
You killed us all. Congratulations are in order, I suppose. You truly are a greater monster than I could ever hope to be.
Dai gave me a smile of camaraderie as she slowly dematerialized, leaving me alone but for the bodies of the crew. Dai's voice rang out over the PA system one last time.
Goodbye.
You've died. So. Okay, gibt es dann einen Unterschied, wenn ich... I honestly don't know what to do.
I highly recommend sleep. I was even enjoying some of it myself not so long ago.
Very funny. I recommend you for the position of the vessel's official comedian. You know exactly what I mean.
I am still unsure why you were asking me. Why not the captain, or even Vladimir? He is at least an actual scientist.
I'm asking you because I value your opinion.
I sincerely thank you for saying so, but my opinion matters little here.
What? Nicholas looked at me, smiling warmly.
You have already made your decision.
Can you puzzle?
You already chose. But nothing. If it.
So, partner with someone. Hello, goody. It was becoming clearer that that if I was to have any hope of winning this game, I needed a partner in crime. Who was the best candidate? Wait, what? Okay, das habe ich jetzt nicht erwartet. Das sind doch alles Game Over. Aber fangen wir oben an, Vladimir. Was a good friend with my parents, and now with me. He would help me for sure. Arrived at his family quarters to find him and Melody drawing together.
Good morning.
Melody's went off like a firework when she saw me.
Monkey!
Good morning to you too, Melody.
I'm drawing animals. Wanna join me?
That sounds really fun. I was hoping I could actually speak with your dad first, so...
Aww, okay.
She was disappointed, but as she was a young, resilient child, her disappointment didn't last long.
Sweetie, how about you draw me a hippo while I speak with?
She nodded, her eyes going back to her page, intensely focusing on her new task. Vladimir and I stepped out into the hallway.
What is it?
I came to ask for your help with today's game. Fleeting panic swept across Vladimir's face when he realized what I was asking of him, swiftly becoming remorse.
I'm sorry. I just can't.
Why not?
I can't do anything that puts Melody at risk. She's my #1 priority, and I need to protect her above all else.
But there's a good chance we could win.
I can't risk it. Sorry. Again.
Oops, but
I won't tell the others, but I'm not helping. That's my final word.
Vladimir attempted to comfort me by placing his hand on my shoulder, but I pulled away in disgust. He gave me a sorrowful look before retreating back into his room. I stormed back to my room, quite unsure how to proceed now that my position was looking truly dire. I arrived to find I waiting in my quarters.
We need to speak.
Also wenn man solo geht, wird man gleich umgebracht. Huh.
I do not have long. Meet me in the serv.
The ship was suddenly thrown into darkness. Making my way down the hallway was stuff going.
I do not have long.
Oh. Okay.
I'm glad you found.
Okay, wir landen wieder hier.
I don't like liars.
Es macht timemäßig jetzt ein bisschen wenig Sinn. Wir waren gerade vor Vladimirs Raum. Dann kommt I, sagt, wir müssen sprechen. Es wird dunkel. Und alle am Schiff sind tot. Melody und so sind jetzt auch noch im Dining Hall. Ha. Scheint so, als würden natürlich alle Optionen dazu führen, dass wir sterben. Naja, Kimiko. The captain was someone on the ship that I could truly trust. As I approached the bridge, I heard Shizuka and the captain speaking. I hid behind a row of instruments just past the doorway and settled in to listen what was being discussed.
We need to approach this as a unified front.
Oh?
You know very well that this is the best course of action.
Uh-oh.
And why should I trust you?
Captain, please. You have to trust me for old time's sake.
Very well. But know that if you betray me, I will see to it personally that Dai is the least of your worries.
Yeah. Enough with the threats. That won't happen anyway because I know I'm right.
Very well. How should we proceed then?
If anyone tells you that they are the vampire, agree to partner with them. But then tell me, and we will make sure that they are the ones who lose.
Wow.
How should I inform you discreetly?
How about before the game starts, tell me that our current plotted course needs to be recalculated, and that means you know the identity of the vampire.
A sound plan.
Alright, I need to get back. We don't want anyone seeing us together.
Tja. Physip quickly approached the spot I was hiding, quickly dashed out of the room, and sprinted back to my quarters as fast as I could.
We need to. I do not have.
Okay. Passiert wieder das gleiche. Alle sterben.
Yeah, we need.
So, Shizuka. Checked my tablet, showing both the captain and Shizuka. Would wait for them to finish before pulling Shizuka. Ow! Showing both the captain and Shizuka on the bridge together, they were probably still discussing the navigation of the black hole. I would wait for them to finish before pulling Shizuka aside. Made my way to the bridge, but as I approached the entry, I could hear Shizuka. Oh, okay. Der hören wir also bei
We need.
And why should I?
Nicholas. Right now I trusted Nicholas more than anyone else on the ship. Having him on my side would be vital to attaining victory today. Also das sollte jetzt was anderes machen. I arrived to find them both outside their quarters, appearing unnaturally calm and unconcerned.
Oh, and what do we have here?
Hey, Beatrix. I was hoping I could have a word with Nicholas in private.
Sorry, sailor. We're a package deal.
But
Whatever you have to say, you can say to both of us.
I...
If you truly trust me, you know that I trust my sister with my life and would ask you to do the same.
I hesitated, but I nodded when I realized that it was the only way that was going to happen. I cleared my throat and swallowed hard. I'm the vampire.
Oh, sailor.
I wanted to ask you, Nicholas, to be my partner. Nicholas smiled. Clearly he seemed moved by my proposal.
I must say, a very poor choice of Vogel there.
She did her best to appear offended, but she couldn't maintain it for very long.
It's a pity, but I can't deny you have exceptional taste in men, sailor.
Beatrix chortled, making me turn several shades pinker than I was ever comfortable being.
Thank you for telling us. It means a lot that you trust us with this information, considering how it literally could mean your life or death.
I nodded solemnly. This I already knew. I felt slightly better after he voiced his approval.
However, I think we will need to approach this game in a more lateral way than I probably planned for.
Huh?
What do you mean?
The crew will expect Beatrix and I to partner, regardless of our roles.
True. If we were vampires, we would partner. And if we were human, we would do the same.
Exactly. If we were to act any differently, we would garner suspicion.
What do you suggest?
I suggest that we work as a team of 3.
How do we do that?
Unfortunately, just playing as Bonnie and Clyde will not be enough to secure victory here. We'll have to play this smarter.
What do you suggest?
In round 2, one of us will breed with her, and the other will breed with her first round victim.
That means we choose who dies?
Uh-oh. Nicholas nodded. How does that work?
The first person you breed with will become a vampire unknowingly, and so will produce no human babies. They will be sentenced to death when we claim our victory.
It feels wrong to be consciously killing someone. They both ignored me.
Vladimir and Melody will certainly breed together, so they're out.
So, we get to decide whether the captain or Shizuka will die.
Uh-oh.
The captain. Hands down.
Das war so klar.
I completely disagree. The captain is vital to the mission. Shizuka is disposable.
Oh.
Yeah, but...
You decide.
Why me?
Choose who you will breed with first, and, by doing so, sentence to death.
Okay.
You have until the game begins to make your decision. Beatrix and I will respect your choice no matter who it is.
Wenn wir den Captain nehmen, wird uns da einfach wieder umbringen. Also müssen wir Shizuka nehmen. Weil vielleicht ist es erst ein Captain. Es kommt auch eh wieder nicht zum Spiel.
It's best that you leave now, so the crew doesn't get suspicious.
Nicholas walked over to me and held my face in his hands, tilting up to meet his eyes.
I know this is hard for someone with such a strong sense of morality, but you have to cast that aside for the greater good right now. There is time to mourn the lost later.
I nodded, my mind already running rampant with guilt. I hadn't made the choice yet.
Thank you for sharing with us. For sharing with me. Know that you have saved us, and that we do not easily forget a gesture like that.
For a moment, my guilt vanished and I was lost in Nicholas' reassuring smile.
Now go. We will await your decision and react accordingly.
Nicholas gently kissed me on the forehead, then pushed me gently out. Almost fell over, despite Nicholas' push being extremely light. I stood there, dazed for a minute, before eventually collecting my wits and heading back to prepare myself. Arrived to find I waiting in my quarters.
We need to speak.
Oh, I, good morning.
I do not have long. Come to the server room.
I stepped out of my quarters, leaving me quite confused. Never heard her sound quite so human. She seemed worried, a side of her I hadn't really seen before. I looked at my tablet to locate the server room. I'd never been there. It wasn't long that I had the location and made my way there. Das kennen wir schon alles.
She is a die discovered. This is once you
Enter. So.
I'm glad.
Okay, wieder bad ending. No idea. Screen suddenly shut off, with the lights dimming in the entire server room. Huh? What? I? Okay. Hier ist alles dead end.
Me? I have the exact same question. I don't. If the. Nothing. You killed a.
So, okay. So, das heißt, wir kommen... Nichts Neues hier. Dann wieder Zeit für Lucky Ship. After putting away the tablet, I made my way to the dining hall. By the time I arrived, everyone had already assembled outside.
It's about time, Slowpoke.
So, das heißt, wir haben auf diesen Routen leider kein neues Passwort gefunden. Aber Fanservice. Das ist auch was. It's about time, Slowpoke.
Okay, just to make sure everyone's on the same page.
Ja, das haben wir.
The door will be opening shortly, so get ready. Pray, cry, beg for mercy, whatever floats your boat. Oh, one more thing. Only one person will be permitted to enter the dining hall at a time, and since it's first come, first serve, dawdling's a surefire way to wind up dead. Everyone got it?
Yes, Die. We all understand. Just get on with it.
Oh, eager are we? I love it. All right then, I officially declare the third round of the Deletion Games Logi Ship open for business. Welcome. I hope you find everything to your liking.
Adopting the attitude of a gracious new shop owner, Di invited a petrified customer in with a theatrical wave of her hand. Beatrix, unfazed by Di's little routine, was in and out before anyone else could react. She really did mean business. Waiting wasn't going to make things any easier for me at this point. I had the most information I was ever going to have, and I needed to make my selection as soon as possible. The door shut behind me as I entered the dining hall.
Welcome. Please make your selection on the screen before you.
So, beim letzten Mal ist Katashi gestorben. Mal gucken, was diesmal
Thank
dran
you
ist.
for your selection, and thank you for choosing Die's Deletion Game as your preferred.
Okay, wir haben schon mal eine andere Route. Sehr schön.
Please exit the room and await this round's results.
Left the room and watched as, one after another, everyone else went in to shoot the missiles.
In an unexpected turn of events, it would appear that everyone has chosen to attack in the first 15 minutes, which brings this round to an end. Who'd have thought that you were all so eager to kill each other? Well, who am I to argue? Give the people what they want, right? Let's get straight to the results.
Oop. F. Beatrix.
Beatrix.
Nicholas looked at Beatrix, eyes full of panic. By contrast, Beatrix looked almost pleased.
Nicholas?
Nicholas was starting to become enraged.
Shut up, Di. This isn't funny.
No, it really is.
And why is that?
Hat einer von euch beiden drauf geschossen?
I honestly didn't think this would happen, but
Oh.
Beatrix shot herself.
Nice. Das ist nicht der einzige Vollidiot, dem das passiert.
What?
Nicholas stood stunned.
I know, right? What the hell is wrong with you?
Why would you shoot yourself? We knew where you were.
I know, but we didn't know where you were.
So?
If we both shot blindly, I might have killed you by accident.
So you shot yourself instead of taking a chance and possibly shooting me?
I needed to protect you.
I didn't need your protection. I needed you to stay alive. Why would you do this to me? We just lost our father. Now I have to lose you too.
Nicholas, I did the only thing I could to ensure you were safe.
I didn't ask you to keep me safe. I asked you to stay safe.
Sorry to interrupt this domestic disturbance, but I have a will to spin. Woo!
I projected a wheel that was then began spinning.
A bit boring, but effective nonetheless. Congratulations, Beatrix. The will has spoken. You're going to die by suffocation.
I began clapping as if she had just awarded someone a prize.
Seeing as we're here anyway, we might as well do this in the dining hall.
Uh-oh.
Di, there must be some way that we can sort this out.
Are you trying to bribe me, Nicholas?
I'll do anything to save Beatrix. Please.
Uh-oh.
Okay, let me see.
Really?
Nope.
No, of course not. Seriously, why would I break the rules for you? Okay, Beatrix, it's time for you to get in.
I pointed towards the dining hall.
No, I won't let you.
This is for the best.
Nicholas grabbed Beatrix around the wrist as he tried to enter the dining hall.
Yoshiki, Katashi, a little assistance, please?
Yoshiki and Katashi approached and did their best to get Nicholas to let go of Beatrix. Oh no. It was no easy feat, but after several minutes of struggling, Katashi and Yoshiki managed to hold Nicholas still by pinning both his arms behind his body.
Beatrix, please. Please don't do this.
Beatrix moved up to Nicholas, who was starting to tear up, and kissed him on the forehead.
Live on, little brother. I love you.
I love you too.
Beatrix then shifted her attention to me. She placed her hands on either side of my face and looked me dead in the eyes.
Take care of him for me, okay?
Ich glaube, wir sollten jetzt nicht sagen, dass wir aus Versehen auch auf Nummer 9, das Schiff Nummer 9 geschossen haben.
I need you to promise. Promise me you'll take care of him.
I promise.
Thank you.
Beatrix began entering the dining hall when she turned for one last thing.
Oh, Kimiko?
Yes?
I may not like you, but I don't hate you either.
Beatrix smiled at her captain.
Thank you, Beatrix.
The captain returned her smile, their troubled history, little more than water under the bridge, and Beatrix's final moments.
Alright, enough with the endless goodbyes. You're making me tear up here.
Dining hall door lock engaged. Oxygen levels decreasing. Katashi and Yoshiki let go of Nicholas, who was still adamant on fighting. He clawed at the door, intending to pry it open with his fingers as Beatrix locked on, smiling from the other side of the room. His fingers began to bleed. Beatrix's hand could be seen sliding down the glass as she fell unconscious on the floor. After about 10 minutes, Nicholas stopped clawing at the door and slumped down onto the floor.
Beatrix.
Well, I'd like to thank everyone for taking time out of their busy schedules to join me for today's special occasion. Unfortunately, All good things must come to an end. Party's over, folks. Please return to your quarters.
Still numb from the most recent loss, the crew didn't move a muscle. Quickly losing her patience, Di dispensed with her polite facade.
I said the party's over. Now scram!
Di emphatically signaled for us to leave and then disappeared. Dining hall oxygen levels normalizing. Door lock disengaged. The moment the door opened, Nicholas scrambled into the room along the floor. Recovering his fallen sister, he cradled her inert form in his lap.
I'm sorry, Nicholas.
Nicholas didn't even acknowledge her. Still raw from Beatrix's death, he continued to gently rock his sister in his arms.
Can you please see to Nicholas's hand injuries before turning in for the night?
Yes, Captain.
Everyone go and get some rest. Dismissed.
With those words, the crew splintered into different directions and cleared the hallway. Nicholas, do you want me to help?
No, I'm fine.
Nicholas stood up, carrying his sister in his arms, and slowly made his way to the medical bay. He followed behind him in silence. When we reached the medical bay, he carefully placed his sister down onto one of the beds. I need to tend to your hands.
I'm fine.
Nicholas, please. It was the captain's orders.
Fine.
Although Nicholas held his hands out towards me, he never took his eyes off his sister. Washed the wounds and dressed him as best as I could. Do you need anything else before I go to sleep?
No, thank you. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, okay. Good night.
Good night.
I left the medical bay and headed towards my quarters. I lay in my bed, restlessly trying to sleep. Beatrix's selfless sacrifice was still far too fresh in my mind to allow me to rest. Chapter 2. When I woke up Monday morning, I felt flat and tired. Beatrix's death was still fresh in my mind, so was the thought of another death soon to come, if Di had her way. I needed a smile. After getting dressed, I decided to find someone who could cheer me up. I needed someone fun and playful, who wouldn't let our bleak situation get them down. Two immediately came to my mind. Yoshiki and Katashi? Yoshiki was the optimist who always found reasons to smile. And Shizuka I could count on to play a game with me, to take my mind off things, but which one? Shizuka would know how to distract me, and she'd probably welcome the opportunity to play a game. She was pretty competitive, and always complaining that no one wanted to play games against her. I made my way to the quarters and knocked. There was no reply. Knocked again, but she still didn't answer. Checked the time. It was already 9:30 a.m. I'd gotten up late. Is she still asleep? Panic washed over me. Is she dead? I appeared beside me.
Officer Himura is not dead. She is asleep.
A little late to still be in bed. I hope she's alright. I smiled reassuringly and left. I knocked again. Maybe she was sick. She had a rough night. Since I was there, it seemed right to check up on her. After my fourth knock, the door opened and I entered the quarters. Shizuka had clearly just rushed to put her uniform on. It was a little messy.
Huh?
Sorry, I didn't come here to wake you. But I told me you were still asleep and I thought you might be sick or something.
Sick?
Yeah, sorry. Just wanted to see if you were okay. Shizuka sat on the bed, blinking at me with blurry eyes.
Just sleeping.
Okay.
Why do you come?
Oh, just needed to smile, so thought maybe we could play a game. Shizuka instantly went from confused and sleepy to attentive and interested.
A game? What game?
Oh, but something simple for now. Scissor, paper, rock?
Okay, but I'm pretty good at this.
You think so, huh? It's on. Best of 3 rounds.
Bring it on.
We'll count it together. 1, 2, 3. Wow, wir haben einfach nur 4 Finger. Warum nur? Kann ja jemand einfach keine Hände zeichnen? I threw rock and Shizuka played scissors. She narrowed her eyes at seeing that she'd lost her first round. Thought you were supposed to be good at this.
Oh, I'm not even playing seriously yet.
That's an original way of describing losing.
You'll see. I'm about to get serious.
Alright, let's go again.
I've got this.
1, 2, 3. The 4th beat, I played scissors. So did Shizuka.
A tie?
This will be the last. I've got you next round.
Okay, let's do this.
Gonna destroy you.
We'll see about that.
1, 2, 3. 4! We both shot our moves, and we were both paper.
A tie. Now let's count the scores. Oh no! It looks like I beat you. I told you I was good. Or maybe you're just bad at the game. Or is it both? You tell me, loser.
Hey, wait a minute. Wow. Wait, what? Tie win für uns und wir verlieren?
But I am a winner.
Would rather be a smug winner than a polite loser. Shizuka looked outraged that I wouldn't even ask the question.
Duh.
As right, playing with Shizuka had cheered me up. Well, it was fun playing with you, and
Yahoo! Everyone's favorite AI system is here. My, it's a beautiful day, isn't it? It would be such a shame if someone were to mention the deletion game.
what the?
Ahem. Can I please have all crew report to the dining hall for briefing immediately? That is all.
Dad used the ship's intercom to shout out at us with deafening volume. Shizuka and I both sat still for a moment, stunned. Oh, guess we should go. Shizuka looked down at what she was wearing. She was missing a sock at the very least.
I better put more clothes on. Dye is enough. I don't want to aggro the captain, too.
Wait outside and we can go together. Better hurry though.
Yeah, Dye does sound more psycho than usual today.
Went outside into the corridor to wait. Shizuka was very quick and probably cut a lot of corners. She was out with her uniform on and her hair sort of brushed within a couple of minutes. Just as we were about to head off, Yoshiki came into the corridor and saw us.
Good morning, I guess.
Morning, anyway.
What do you think the next game's going to be like?
They're not very good games. So far, there's been barely any strategy to them at all. It's just guessing and good luck and hoping no one tries to screw you on purpose.
I think Dai just likes scaring everyone. It doesn't matter so much about the game.
She could just pick someone at random. She enjoys dragging it out. We arrived at the dining hall and all went in together. Vladimir and Melody were already there, and so was the captain. The three of us took our seats and waited for Dai to arrive. It was long before Katashi arrived, and finally Nicholas. Nicholas looked like he hadn't slept or washed or even changed his clothes. The moment Nicholas sat down, Dai appeared in front of us.
Good morning, good morning. Wow, Nikki, that's a new look for you. I'm not a fan. Now, ladies, gentlemen, and whatever the kid is, it's time to play the deletion game.
Bitte was? Ladies, gentlemen, and whatever the kid is?
All right, I can't hold in the excitement any longer. Welcome to round 4 of the deletion game, Bidding Wars. I have noticed a certain lack of, what's the word? Teamwork. So I have specifically designed this game to help us grow as a crew, but more importantly, as a family. We have to work as a team and trust one another if we are to get through this together. If you would all please turn your attention to your tablet devices, I have made you a short video on the rules. So the game will be played, and the bidding wars end on Sunday, a week from now. This is pretty exciting, right? Now, would you like me to explain the rules again myself, or just skip straight to the fun?
Hatten wir schon mal explained rules? Glaube nicht. Could you please go over the rules of the game so it's clear what we're doing?
Of course! And I want to take this opportunity to thank you all for your ongoing participation. So, you will be split into 2 groups, 2 teams of 4 people. Each team will be allocated a captain, but shh, who that is will be a secret only your team will know. This game will then be played over 3 battles for points. Each battle, your team gains 10 points to allocate amongst the 4 of you. Points can be allocated freely, but every battle at least 2 members must be allocated a minimum of 1 point each. Your team captain has the final decision on point allocations. Each team will enter the dining hall separately, and the captain will tell me how many points each person in their team is allocated for the battle. After both teams have entered the room and told me their team's point allocations, the battle will end and the results will determine the winner of that battle. All 4 team members will be ranked, from highest points to lowest, and will face off with the opposing team in the same order. The team with the highest points for each rank wins that rank, and will receive those points both as an individual and for their team's total. For example, if Team A's highest allocation is 5 points and Team B's is 4, the score of Team A and its individual player increases by 5. Team B and Team B's player will receive 0 score. If both Team A's and Team B's highest point allocation is the same, for example, both players have 5, neither team nor their individual receives points. Teams receive score equal to the points awarded in Battle 1. We will move straight to Battle 2. Teams and individual scores will carry over and accumulate. However, only team scores will be known to everyone during the game. Personal scores will only be announced at the end of the game. Remember, it's about winning the war, not the battles. After 3 consecutive battles, the war ends and the team with the least points will lose. But don't worry, I can't just execute 4 people. That's crazy. The player with the least amount of individual score in the losing team will be the overall loser and will face the wheel.
I held her hand to hear, implying she could hear one of us speaking, but we were all deadly silent.
What's that I hear you asking? What if after 3 battles both teams' total scores are tied? Then I will make a special exception and execute both teams' captains. And what about if the losing team has 2 team members tied with least points? Don't worry, I won't execute the 2 of you. That's not fair. Just the losing team's captains, even if they aren't the one with the lowest points. After all, the captain should always go down with the ship.
I winked at the captain before waving her arms in anticipation.
God, I'm so excited! So, is it all for one and one for all, or every man for himself? Oh, I forgot to mention one big rule with this game. Because I want to encourage teamwork, from this point on, you are prohibited from speaking or communicating with members of the opposing team. I can't have someone trading insider information now, can I? That wouldn't be fair. Or fun. If anyone breaks this rule, there will be punishment. Serious punishment. So let's play fair, okay? So let the game begin. This is going to be great. I love teamwork, don't you? Now it's time to get into our teams and start talking strategy. Team A will be you, Yoshiki, Shizuka, and Nicholas.
Das habe ich mir irgendwie schon gedacht, ja.
And Team B will be Katashi, Vladimir, Melody, and Kimiko. Now it's time for you all to talk strategy. Team A, you will remain here. Team B, you will go to the Eco Lounge. I'll speak to Team A first.
Team B got up and started moving towards the doors.
Remember, from now on, no fraternizing with the enemy. At all.
But what if we need a medic? Or I need to tell them something important?
At all.
Not willing to risk Dai's wrath, Kimiko ushered the rest of her team out of the dining hall, leaving us alone with Dai.
What happens now? Do we just spend the week coming up with a plan?
First, we need to get you a team captain.
I can do it! I'll be captain!
That's fine with me.
Me too.
Nuh-uh. The captain will be chosen at random.
Why?
Because that's the rules of the game, sister. Games have rules, and you have to play by the rules. Or where's the triumph in winning?
Sollten sich Cheater hinter die Ohren schreiben. Shizuka pouted.
I've preloaded 4 cards in your tablets. You can choose one whenever you're ready. The person who chooses the card with the bunny on it will be the team captain.
I'll take card 2.
After you, BFF.
I'll take 4, I guess. We all waited, but Nicholas didn't even acknowledge us looking at him.
Guess I'll take 1.
That leaves Moby McGee over here with the 3rd card. And the winner is...
Oh mein Gott, wer hätte das erwartet?
She can't be captain. She is terrible at games.
Wow. Standing right here. But how can you strategize when you don't know what they'll do? Dai smiled and disappeared without even answering my question. Okay, let's talk this through. Maybe we can predict some of their possible strategies.
Wait, I'm not sure I understand the game.
I'll explain it. So there's 4 players on each team in 3 rounds, meaning one person will miss out on being allocated the highest number for their group. But that's okay, because the highest number won't necessarily score, because equal numbers are cancelled out.
Hold on a minute. Shizuka did not hold on.
So essentially our choice is between high-risk high numbers or low-risk low numbers. Enough high numbers might get us a win, but with low numbers we're more likely to get the points to accumulate into a higher total score at the end.
Slow down, I'm confused.
It's really simple. Our numbers are compared to theirs, and then the higher number from each pair is the winning number, while also dictating the number of points you receive. Higher numbers will return higher points, but they're a risk because it could be cancelled out. And then you're relying on very low numbers, or even on nothing that's been allocated to the rest of the team, because we only have 10 points to distribute. What's confusing about that?
I decided I wasn't getting anywhere with Yoshiki and Shizuka, so I decided to try and get Nicholas involved in the discussion. Nicholas, what about you? Do you understand the rules? Nicholas? He was still looking at his hands, where they sat on the dining table. Okay. Shizuka, slow down. Yoshiki, I explained.
It's simple. I don't get what the problem is.
Yoshiki is das Problem. We have 10 points to allocate between all 4 of us. But we must give points to at least two of our players. Are you with me so far?
Yeah, I think so.
Each player's scores will be paired with the other team's players, and the highest wins.
Could you be any slower? We need to talk strategy.
Immer diese Gamer. I think it's best if we make sure everyone understands the rules before we get specific. Nicholas, were you listening? I'd hoped he would at least nod or shake his head, but he didn't even do that much. Alright, new plan. Shizuka, you go away and think about some strategies for us to discuss. Yoshiki, you and I will go somewhere so I can explain the game to you. Nicholas, you should go and get some sleep.
And maybe a shower. Jeez.
Wow. Shizuka, please. I decided to just take Yoshiki somewhere quiet and talk to him alone. What Nicholas and Shizuka did was their own business. But it sure didn't seem like Nicholas was going to be captaining our team. Come on, Yoshiki, we'll get somewhere quiet. Yoshiki and I left together to go over the rules in peace. It's the next day. So. Wir sind aktuell Chapter 2. Unser Tod Beatrix Katashi. So, dann würde ich sagen, fürs nächste Mal schaffen wir den Part, dann den Part und in so 2, 3 Streams könnten wir dann endlich mal hier ein paar Override-Sequenzen abarbeiten. Okay, gut. Dann speichern wir mal hier und bis zum nächsten Mal. Nochmal einen schönen 4. Advents und bis zum nächsten Mal. Bye bye.